Hi guys, I got a cold. I've got the flu, um, and I've just had a load of tea, coffee, trying to snap myself out of it. I've been coughing and sneezing for a couple of days now. So, welcome to Defending Elvis. Now, in the background, you're going to see here, just here. I've decided I want to discuss and learn about one of my favourite films as a child, GI Blues. So this came up when I was having a look. It just shows someone. There is a book. Let's have a look. See if we can click on right from the beginning. 1 second. Now I can't play it because it's all music, but it says the unboxing. So it says here. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah. Let me put it on big. I just want to say, guys, welcome to Defending Elvis. Thank you for joining us. Of course, we are the brand new Defending Elvis. Even when I've got a cold, I struggle through. So we're not just doing just defending topics, we're just doing normal topics. Yeah, in fact, I'm trying to move away and just get a bit more neutral. I don't want to be just constantly making Priscilla film videos, which, to be honest with you, I'm bored of. But so I'm sort of doing the stuff that I loved. So when I was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I would watch a lot of these films. Some people call these films corny. I don't think so. I think GR Blues is fantastic. I do understand what they mean, that Elvis was capable of making serious, dramatic films with that sort of pushed him, stretched him. Yeah, he definitely had the ability. But I won't ignore the fact that, I'm going to press play on that. I won't ignore the fact that I loved these films. I absolutely love them. They really affected me. Me and my twin brother in the 70s, in my dad's little cafe that he ran with my mum. We would rush home to watch these films. On the weekend, we would watch them. And I, obviously, as you guys know, changed my life. So I thought we're going to do a show just on GI Blues. Bear with me because I'm not well. I've got horrible flu. Now, the annoying thing is, I'm hoping this flu goes in the next few days because we are going away on Friday for 2 days. I think we're back Sunday night. I think maybe Monday night. I don't know. It's Tino's football tournament. Me, the wife, we're taking my brother's daughter with her kids. So, but unfortunately, it's really bad weather forecast, and we're going to a seaside resort down south. So, so we're gonna have to brace ourselves. We're staying in a lovely caravanette. We had this topic on the last holiday we had. Is it a caravan or is it a mobile home? What is it, guys? Caravan or mobile home? We'll have that. I was having that argument with the kids. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the new subscribers. We had a couple more last night. Let's have a look. So we've had a good 30. Yes, we've had 4 new subscribers today. So we're on 29,904 subscribers. So I like that because it tells me something we're doing is good. We've had a good 35 to 40 new subscribers, maybe a bit more. So we'll look. So we're racing towards. Well, I don't know about racing, but we're getting towards 30,000, which tells me that the Defending Elvis, the brand new beginning, is working. Now, I fully accept that we're losing a few as well because we're not going to be the let's get Priscilla channel. We're not going to be that, but I will 100% be discussing Priscilla, exposing her wrongdoing. Yeah. In detail. In fact, I did a couple of really good videos discussing the lawsuit with Bridget Cruz. I also did another video that was called that was about Priscilla, going into detail about her wrongdoing to Elvis and to Lisa. Okay, so you know, I do try and show the good and the bad. Yeah. So, but I just want to get back to normal stuff. Yeah. And so if there's a couple of people that have gone, and we've definitely got new. I think we've lost a couple of people, but I think we've gained about 40. Yeah. So I think it's the right thing to do. So to all the people that have been loyal to defending Elvis and watched our journey, because we've had a tough journey. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for being part of what we've done. You've all seen what we've all been through together. Unfortunately, I have been the main target of the attacks, of the abuse, the stalkers, the bullying, call it what you want. So I have to make serious decisions, take serious steps to calm down the attacks. And the whole Defending Elvis, the New Beginning has really worked. And we're back on the right path. We're also an Elvis history channel, which I keep reminding everyone. We're also an Elvis channel. So this video just looks brilliant. Okay. So what I'm gonna go back to the beginning of it. Now we might have to do this in more than one show. So how many of you guys liked GI Blues? I would say probably all of you. As a child, we all remember the puppet scene, yeah? So I did quickly just type in, let's just see if it's come up. I wanted to just learn the basics about the film, and I wanted to read out the build-up to the making of GI Blues. Obviously, Elvis is in the army, is 59, he meets Priscilla briefly, and he's getting ready to come out, do the Frank Sinatra show, and Nancy Sinatra meets him and gives him a gift from Frank Sinatra. Obviously, Frank is amazing. I think it was silk shirts, I think. So look, I just wanted to, while I press play on this, I thought we could just make sure you can see it, all right? We could read out what I found, and at the same time, we could flick through the pages in the background. After I've read this out, I thought we could read a couple of these pages. Okay, so bear with me, guys. Right. Please like, please subscribe. It helps the channel. Welcome to the new members. And thank you to anyone that did me a super thank you, bought me a coffee. It's very kind of you. Shows me you like what I do. No pressure to do it. It's up to you. You're very welcome. Okay, right. I'll press play here. The end of the army. By early 1960, Elvis had spent nearly 2 years in Germany. He was no longer the wild young rock and roll rebel of 1956. He was now a 25-year-old sergeant who had lost his mother, which is heartbreaking, yeah, matured considerably and become one of the most famous servicemen in the world. The most. Come on. Let's face it. Right, hang on a minute. I'm going to pause that a second because I want to... Right, so look at that. Look at those pictures, guys. Should we read that? The Tulsa Boys. Does it bring back memories for you? Because it definitely does for me. So it says, on March the 30th, 1960, Elvis landed back in America. One of the people waiting to greet him was a young Nancy Sinatra, who presented him with a gift from Frank. It was a symbolic passing of the torch moment because Sinatra had once criticized rock and roll, yet now he was welcoming Elvis home as a major American star. And I've heard about this. Frank Sinatra, you know, he felt that rock and roll was a bad influence on the teenagers. Yeah, don't forget, rock and roll was, you know, from the early 50s was making a difference. Yeah. So then there's the famous train journey. After returning to the United States, Elvis traveled by train towards Memphis. Now there's a few videos of this train journey of Elvis being interviewed. We'll dig them out, guys. The journey became an event in itself. Crowds gathered at the stations all along the route, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. Reports describe Elvis as appearing on the observation platform in his army uniform. We've all seen it, haven't we? The pictures and videos, waving to the fans as the train passed through towns and cities on the way to Tennessee. Yeah, brilliant footage, guys. This is a section where you, so we've got so let's have a look. So let's just see where Elvis was going. So after arriving back to Memphis, Elvis spent a time at Graceland with family and friends. However, I just want to comment on that. Yeah. So yes, Elvis had the brief friendship with Priscilla, 4 or 5 months. We don't know how much they saw each other. We've heard allegedly there was other girlfriends. Yeah. Allegedly, Priscilla and Elvis were just friends. Even Priscilla has said this. Yeah. Elvis felt she was too young. Yeah. It's obvious Elvis remembered that girl. Yeah. Priscilla. So he was still with Anita Wood. Okay. So he goes back to Memphis. Anita Wood's waiting for him. She's very loyal. We've been reading her book. We're going to do chapter 2 next. Okay. And they've had a beautiful romance. But Elvis, you know, I would just keep it simple. He was just too young to settle. I really believe that. So where are we? So Colonel Tom Parker had already arranged the next phase of his career. So it's well known that Elvis was worried about, would he be forgotten? His music career, his movie career. Elvis wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. He wanted to do more dramatic roles like King Creole, yeah, sort of James Dean style, Marlon Brando style films. But Colonel Tom Parker is already mapping out his career, and he's got some things lined up. So within weeks, bearing in mind Anita Wood had waited very loyally for Elvis, yeah. Within weeks, you don't forget, this may sort of explain why the relationship was difficult. Elvis did remember Priscilla, but he wasn't to see Priscilla for a couple of years. I've been told 2 years and 3 months, yeah, before he sees Priscilla again. Yes, I've heard they may have been phoning, that the pink envelopes, they were sending records. Priscilla was sending Elvis records like Soldier Boy. This is just what I've heard. I don't know if that's fact. Even the pink envelopes, is it fact? I've never seen any evidence of the pink envelopes. But so Elvis does some recordings in Nashville. He's preparing for the Frank Sinatra television special, which we know was a massive success. He's preparing to return to Hollywood, which of course is the GI Blues movie, which is one of my favorite. Okay. So on the Frank Sinatra show, it was huge. On the 26th of March, 1960, Elvis taped the famous Welcome Home Elvis television special with Frank Sinatra. Now, I heard, I'll have a swig of my coffee. I heard, let me just make sure this is recording okay. Yeah, we're doing good. It's all working. I heard that Elvis was very nervous. So he looks fantastic, doesn't he? He definitely steals the show, doesn't he? Frank is amazing. Frank, again, one of the most famous people in the world. I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan. My dad was as well. Dean Martin, all the rest of the Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr., all the other people. Yeah. I would say that sort of big band era for me was amazing. Yeah, I love it. And I think Elvis loved it as well. Yeah. So Elvis is nervous at first, but then as the show goes on and the crowd obviously are witnessing a brand new Elvis. Elvis had I think his image had been reinvented. I think the public around the world had calmed down, because don't forget, Elvis goes in with this rebel James Dean rock and roll, anti-establishment type image that was it was upsetting a lot of people, but also a massive fan base. Yeah, all the teenagers around the world were in love with Elvis. Everyone wanted to be Elvis. Yeah. Now there's a decision made and I think Colonel Tom Parker was part of that decision. Elvis also was wanted to serve as just a normal soldier, just like everyone else. He didn't want special treatment. Even Colonel Tom Parker thought that was the right way to go. And I think the public around the world really respected that, because he could have got special treatment. He could have got VIP treatment. I'm sure that the army would have allowed him to be an entertainer within the forces, but no. So this is a massive life-changing time for Elvis. Yeah, he makes some lifelong friends as being in the army. Of course, in Bad Newheim, he meets Priscilla, which, good or bad, changes history, and really it marks the beginning of the end of the relationship with beautiful, stunning Anita Wood. Yeah, it really was a beautiful relationship. You know, this book is lovely. And when we read chapter 2 is when Elvis starts dating Anita. Anita was famous in her own right. She very, very talented, could sing, could dance, could do it all. Always had her own radio show. Eventually she was part of a pop program as a co-host, and she's just amazing. She gets offered movie roles. She gets offered, I heard, a contract from Paramount, but she was holding off for Elvis. Yeah, she really did believe that Elvis and her would marry and have kids. They even planned the kids' names, and just a beautiful romance. But the timing was wrong. Elvis wasn't ready. He was too young to settle down. He had the world at his feet, a lot of temptation. So it just wasn't to be, you know. We've done a few Anita Wood shows, and I'll do some more because I think she's fantastic. So it says here, yeah, so the Frank Sinatra show was a massive success. And as Elvis starts singing, you can see it when you go back, he just comes into his own. Yeah, his confidence comes back. His image has been completely changed. He's much more family friendly now. The older generations have accepted Elvis now. So now Elvis is seen as someone that when he does GI Blues, that the families and kids can go together, mum and dad and the kids. And he's much more mainstream. Yeah, that sort of rebellious edge that Elvis had that appealed to the teenagers has calmed down. It's still there, because we see it in the 68 comeback special. Elvis, it's been planned out for him that he's going to spend the 60s making movies. A lot of the movies were bland, I accept, but I still love them. And he goes on to make 2 movies a year, sometimes 3. Yeah. So let's have a look. So it says here, the show was recorded to a live audience and aired in May. I didn't even know that. So the Frank Sinatra show was actually aired live. Is that right? Oh no, it was a live audience. I see. So it was recorded to a live audience. Okay, I understand that. Yeah. Right. So yeah, he performed Stuck on You, Fame and Fortune. He famously swapped songs. Yeah. With Sinatra, Witchcraft, and Love Me Tender. Yeah, come on, guys. Yeah. He reportedly earned $125,000 for this. Yeah, my God. I didn't know he got paid that much for the Frank Sinatra show, the Coming Home special. The significance wasn't just the money. This was America officially welcoming Elvis back. It told Middle America Elvis had returned, and he is now a mainstream entertainer. This was a big change for Elvis. Honestly, guys, this really, you know, I mean, John Lennon sort of says it, doesn't he? You know, the Elvis that comes out of the army is a very different Elvis. Now, he starts singing his ballads as well. I actually loved a lot of the movie songs, all these different movies through the 60s. I love a lot of the songs. Some people sort of discredit them, but I think they're great. Yeah. Right. So GI Blues began filming, it says here, in April 1960. Let's have a look what it is. So let's have a look. So it actually started under a different title before becoming GI Blues. What was it going to be called? The concept was developed while Elvis was still in Germany. Producer Hal Wallace even travelled to Germany to discuss the project with Elvis before he left military service. Does it say what the name was? It doesn't say what the original name was going to be. So then it says most of the film was shot at Paramount Studios in Hollywood. However, some of the background scenery was filmed in West Germany to give it a more of an authentic feel. I didn't know that. This is why the film feels partly German, even though much of the actual film was done in California. Right. So what I will do is I will post some of the pictures from the film. Okay, guys? So, yeah, so if you go over to my Defending Elvis Facebook page, you'll see some pictures of GI Blues there. I'm going to post some other stuff as well a bit later. So, so in comes Juliet Prowse, who is absolutely stunning, actually. I wonder if I can see her on here. Hang on a minute, guys, to see if it shows a picture of her. I love Juliet Prowse, and I really remember her as a kid. Let's have a look if it shows. I heard she was engaged to Frank Sinatra. I don't know if that's true. Is this her here? No. Let's have a look, guys. Is it going to show us a big picture of Julia? Oh, a little bit. Not very clear. Okay, maybe not. Okay, see at the beginning. See if she's on it. Oh, there we are. Da, da, da. Right, okay, that'll do for the second. She is a talented dancer. It says here nightclub performer. I'm not sure what that means. She's very tall. She's 6 foot tall. Almost. She's considered as Hollywood's most glamorous young stars. That's interesting. At the time GI Blues was being produced, Juliet Prowse was engaged. Here we go. Yeah, this is what I've heard. At the time GI Blues was being produced, she was engaged to Frank Sinatra. Okay, I didn't realise that I didn't know this, guys. She was actually engaged to him whilst they filmed GI Blues. Right, okay. I thought it was previously, but okay. The engagement became one of the most biggest celebrity stories, although the couple never married. It's fascinating connection between Elvis just appeared on the Sinatra special, and now Sinatra's fiance was becoming Elvis's leading lady. Yeah. So basically, I didn't know that. So when Elvis filmed the Coming Home special with Frank, he was engaged to Juliet Prowse, but he also knew that she would be his leading lady on the next movie. That must have been awkward. Okay. That alone makes a great talking point for the video. It does. Now, is there any rumours of Elvis and Juliet Prowse that they had any kind of friendship, more than friendship? I've seen the footage of her at the it's at 69 when Elvis is back starting off in Vegas, doing his Vegas comeback. I've seen her in there with Cary Grant, Sammy Davis Jr. You know, they're attending his show. So then it says, Elvis plays Tulsa McLean, a soldier stationed in West Germany. Tulsa dreams of leaving the army and opening a nightclub. A bet involving a nightclub dancer named Lily, which is obviously Juliet Prowse, leads to a romance, comedy, music, and military life adventure. Unlike King Creole, this wasn't a serious dark drama. As far as I remember, they finished the filming of King Creole. Elvis was given 2 or 3 months. Was it extended before he goes to Germany to do the King Creole filming? And I think Anita would visit him on set. Is that correct? I don't know. You tell me, guys. I'm just going from memory. I'm no expert. I always say this. I'm not a researcher. I'm not an expert. I'm just Louis the fan in his kitchen. Okay? This was the birth of the Elvis musical comedy formula. It definitely was. But I will say this. One of the best ones. Yeah, I really liked it. And I really think it suited him to do an army, Elvis in uniform, an army film, GI Blue. I just think the format was perfect for bringing in a new audience, some mums and dads, uncles and aunties, gran and granddad, and the kids. Perfect. Yeah. It just was a great idea. And I think it really did make a lot of money. Yeah. The film was a major box office success. The soundtrack reached #1 and stayed there for 10 weeks. Wow. I didn't even know that. Yeah. It became one of the most successful albums of Elvis's career and remained on the charts for an extraordinary length of time. The film itself was also one of Elvis's biggest post-army hits and helped establish the movie formula that Hollywood would use repeatedly throughout the 60s. Now, I will say this, as we get into the mid-60s, the films get a bit more cornier. But some amazing songs in this film as well. So what does it say? Let's have a look here. So it says, okay, so let's see if we can get any more information. Can you give me any more information on the move on the GI Blues film, and are there any videos showing where it was filmed? Obviously, it said partly in Germany, mostly in Paramount Studios. Let's just see what else it says. So we're sort of making the video together, yeah? Let's have a look. Yeah, so it reminds us that how Wallace went to Germany. He took the script with him, read it with Elvis. Elvis was still serving. So part of the filming was done with tank maneuvers and the background footage around Frankfurt. Oh, that's a coincidence. Wiesbaden, which is where Priscilla lived with her parents. That's interesting. I wonder if Priscilla twigged on that. Actually, no, because he's gone back. I'm getting confused. No, because Elvis has gone back to America. No, but hang on. No, yes. So in August 59, they do some of the filming in Wiesbaden, which is where Priscilla lives. What month did Priscilla meet Elvis? Obviously, we know about the Cary Grant story, you know, the Eagles Club, where allegedly Cary Grant approached Priscilla and said, hey, do you want to meet Elvis? It is an ever-changing story. We don't even know if it's completely true or correct. Some say that the whole meeting of Elvis was all set up by Priscilla, but I find that interesting that how Wallace decided to make so the film looked more authentic, decided to film some of the scenes in Germany, even though a lot of it was filmed in Paramount, and they were at Wiesbaden, where Priscilla lived. So is this before Priscilla met Elvis? You know, that brief meeting. That's interesting. Did Priscilla go and what, you know, because obviously there would have been crowds around where the film crews were making the movie GI Blues. I just find that interesting. You tell me, what do you think, guys? Then there was a couple of other parts. They filmed scenes, so there was some in Frankfurt, in Rhine Valley. It does say Elvis wasn't allowed to appear himself because he was still on active duty. I still think it would have attracted the crowds, though. Yeah, I wonder if Priscilla watched when they were filming that, because it's her town where she's living with her parents in Wiesbaden. Am I right? Yeah, it is Wiesbaden, isn't it? Yeah. Unless I've got it wrong, you tell me, guys. It is Wiesbaden, isn't it, where Priscilla lived? If I'm wrong, let me know, guys. So right, so here we go. So the actual original name of the film was going to be Christmas in Berlin or Cafe Europa, but then it became GI Blues. Right, okay, I didn't know that, see? So originally, nearly the film GI Blues was going to be called Christmas in Berlin or Cafe Europa. I actually think GI Blues is a brilliant title, yeah? And one of my favourite songs, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Sorry, guys, I paused it. I have a good old cough. I've got such a bad cold. What else is it saying here? I just find this interesting. So Elvis's journey from Germany to Hollywood. After returning to America in March 1960, he goes to Memphis and Graceland. He recorded, the Frank Sinatra show. And then some session. Oh no, he recorded an album, Elvis is Back, in Nashville. He filmed the show, the Frank Sinatra show. Then left Memphis by train to go to California on April the 18th, 1960. According to several sources, traveling with him were Gene Smith, Joe Esposito, Lamar Fike, Sonny West, and Charlie Hodge. They arrived in California around the 20th of April for pre-production. Right, okay, so there we go. They're in California, 20th of April. And it was filmed started filming around the 21st of April 1960. The principal photography ran from approximately May the 2nd, 1960 to June the 29th, 1960. So the main filming, not long, is it, guys? This is why I heard he would make 2-3 movies a year in the 60s. So it says, it's not long, is it? May the 2nd to June the 29th. My God, is that right? Does that sound right, guys? Then you got the soundtrack recording sessions were held in Hollywood during April and May of 1960. Most of the scenes with Elvis in was shot at Paramount, okay? Paramount Picture Studios in Hollywood. There's some more pictures here. I'm going to post these pictures. It's interesting, isn't it? You got to try and imagine Elvis. He's just spent, you know, all that time serving for his country. He's wondering how his career is going to unfold, and he's getting on with taking care of business, isn't he? You know, Frank Sinatra making albums, filming GI Blues. It's just like, and it says here, they were filming at Wiesbaden, Frankfurt, Idstein, Rudesheim am Rhein, Edward Barracks near Frankfurt. One of the most famous surviving locations is the cable car area at Rudesheim, seen during Pocket Full of Rainbows. So when he sings Pocket Full of Rainbows, that sequence, and then it says here, Elvis tour companies still visit it today. Yeah, of course. There's, I think probably every movie Elvis made that you can visit the sets. I know I've seen some brilliant footage showing King Creole when it was filmed. Really, really good. There's a lot of people do it. I think it's quite well known on YouTube. People go to sets. Oh wow, what a great picture. There's a picture here of Juliet Prowse. I'm going to post it, okay? I'll put these pictures. I'm going to post on. We'll have a little look at them in a minute, okay? Let me just post them. Fascinating. Honestly, guys, fascinating. Let me just click send. So we're learning together, guys. Right, okay, I've just posted that. And she is beautiful, isn't she? Juliet Prowse. So what else does it say here? Let's have a look. So it says Juliet Prowse was one of Hollywood's hottest young stars when she got the role of Lily. What's fascinating for your audience is that she was romantically involved with Frank Sinatra, yeah. So so let's have a look. So yes, it does mention. Yeah, it mentions that Elvis had made King Creole and Jailhouse Blues just before, I'm sorry, Jailhouse Rock. I actually really like both films. They're two of my favourite films, yeah? So GR Blues was a huge commercial success, and the soundtrack spent 10 weeks at number one. Hollywood learned that audiences love seeing Elvis sing, joke, and fall in love on screen, which they did. Come on, Elvis looked fantastic, yeah? All through the 60s. You go all the way through Elvis's movie career in the 60s. He looks amazing. That success pushed him towards the musical comedy formula that dominated the 60s. It did, yeah? So I know you guys have got strong views, good and bad. I still love those films, but I fully accept that he was capable of much better films, much more credible movies. You know, Elvis had the I think the talent to make the best films. Yeah, he just never was given the right opportunities, was he? So let's have a look. Yeah, so there's a series of things. You can see footage of Elvis leaving Germany, meeting Nancy Sinatra. Then you've got the Frank Sinatra TV special, the train journey to Hollywood, the making of GI Blues, this interesting connection with Juliet Prowse of Frank Sinatra and Elvis. Then you've got the different film locations, and then Elvis's image really after GI Blues was family friendly, really till the day he died. Yeah, I would say that. So let me just say, are there any footage on YouTube that shows the filming locations? I'd like to show a bit of that. So let's just press play on this again, guys. There's a couple here. Let's have a look. I'm just seeing on if any come up. 1 second. Okay, let's have a look at this then. I mean, this is a great video. I just can't play the music. So this obviously a box set. It says GI Blues, Elvis Presley, the music, the making of GI Blues. Oh my God, let's turn that off a minute. Hang on. Right. I'm just gonna quickly type in it. 1 second. So this is just part 1. We'll probably do another part 2. Oh, there's another one here showing the unboxing of the making of GI Blues box set. There's actually a few on here. Interesting. Let's just subscribe to that.
This is just a...
So I might play that actually. I like that. In fact, I will, because it's not too long. I'm going to come back to this, but let me just. No, I haven't watched it. So let's have a look. Here we go.
Looking at the...
Right,
Hi friends, this is just a quick video looking at the newly announced FTD book. This is the making of GI Blues, the 1960 film. I am very excited for this release. I really love these making of books.
So let me just quickly tell the channel is called Elvis Fan 85. Please subscribe to it. Let's give them a little comment, give them a like, put them on my notifications. Always love an Elvis fan, me. Right. Okay. So please subscribe to this channel, guys. Let's press play. Let's see what... So this is my first time watching it, okay?
And I really love the soundtrack to GI Blues, as well as the film. This set contains 2 hardback books, 5 CDs, and 1 EP. Just reading off the description, this contains 384 pages of newly discovered photos, details of deleted scenes, which sounds great, pages
from... I've just found some footage I think you're going to love. I want to play this. This is great, guys.
From the script, the shooting schedule, contracts, as well as memories from the cast and the crew. This set is very similar to the making of Blue Hawaii, as it contains 2 books.
What's this? So it says, starring Elvis Presley, says the Ultimate Collector Edition includes 2 back books, which offer a comprehensive and fascinating insight into the making of GI Blues.
One on the film and one on the soundtrack. This set includes the entire sessions, which is just going to be amazing to listen to, which I believe is the first time the sessions in their complete form have been released.
Elvis just looks amazing.
It also, very similar to the Blue Hawaii set, includes a vinyl EP. I really hope this set gets released in time for Christmas. I really like the idea of relaxing over the Christmas break and really getting into the making of GI Blues.
I agree. I think that I can't think of a nicer thing to do.
All we need now is a restored version of the film, either on Blu-ray or, better yet, a 4K release.
So did that ever happen? What year is this? Let's have a look. This is, how long ago is this? It might be recent. 7 months ago. 7 months ago. Okay, not that long ago.
I guess the main criticism is going to be the cost. This set cost £199
Wow.
here in the UK, which is a lot of money. It is the same price as the Making of King Creole set. In fact, I'm actually surprised the price hasn't increased.
I still think it's great to collect these things, isn't it? Don't these things go up in value?
A little bit. These are very limited releases, and the books do go into a lot of detail. I will be pre-ordering my copy. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully soon I'll have a unboxing video on this channel of this book. Thanks again.
Okay, let's have a look at this. I just want to quickly look at the channel quickly, give them a shout out. So it's called Elvis Fan 85, and so looking at this, it's got quite a few box sets. You've got the Girls, Girls, Girls. Let me just make sure you can see it. You've got, let's have a look. Paradise Hawaii. He's clearly an amazing Elvis fan. Of course, Epic is there. Happens at the World Fair. Just all of it is great stuff. This is a good channel, guys. I highly recommend. Look, Elvis Presley, The Making of GI Blues, a quick review, which I think is the one we're watching. Brilliant. Kissing Cousins, quick look. I think we might come back to this channel, guys. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, so let's go back to just now. I just noticed this. Let's pause it. It's David Felton. Let's make sure you can see it. It says here, it obviously does the whole copyright thing. This is old Elvis Presley on-set GI Blues colorized footage. I don't think I've ever watched this. Some of you may have done. Let's give it a like. 1 second. Okay, right. Let's press play. This is going to be fun. We can get the music. Oh, we definitely cannot play the music, sorry. Wow. Let me just make sure it's nice and big for you guys. Here it goes. So it's 2 minutes and 46 seconds long. I've never seen this. Honestly, guys. Have any of you seen this before? Look at Elvis. He's having a good old chat with the ladies. I love this. It's been colorized, so obviously originally it's black and white. Where is this? Let me just see how long ago this was. 1 second. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. It says, it doesn't give us any information. It just says, I'm surprised it's only had a few thousand views. Interesting. I'm going to share this to our Facebook. In fact, I'll share both of them to our Facebook, guys. This is brilliant. Let me just quickly chuck it on there so you can see it. Okay, I've just posted that. She likes him. Look at her, the one on the left. Let's let me just see if I can post the other one as well. Okay, got the other one on there as well. We're having a GI Blues Day. Occupation GI Blues. Brilliant. That's got to be Hal Wallace, yeah? Look at it. I love that. You can see, obviously, the film crew and the lighting and all that. The atmosphere of that room. I want to go and watch GI Blues now. It's on, I use Tubi. 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 And it's got GI Blues. I've already watched it a few times. But seeing this makes me want to go and watch it. Tubi. Download it. You can download it on your phone or your TV, your smart TV, and you can watch GI Blues for free. I know a lot of you will have it in your collections, but this is amazing. Look, Juliet Prowse. So she was Frank Sinatra's fiance at the time, sat there filming with Elvis. Now think about how Elvis felt. He's just spent how long in the army? He's been looking forward to this moment, getting out of the army. Obviously, he does the Frank Sinatra show, but then the filming of the first movie after coming out of the army, GI Blues, the whole world is waiting in anticipation. And this really did live up to expectation. And remember, Elvis had changed his image, reinvented his image, much more family friendly. So the kids, the parents, the grandparents, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, everyone could go together. The whole family could go together and watch this. Yeah. Brilliant. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Shame I can't play the music. And he just looks happy and relaxed. He's having fun. I mean, she's stunning. Did Elvis get friendly with Juliet Prowse? I don't know. She loved Elvis. I can tell that because I've seen her in interviews talking about him. Okay, that was brilliant. So let me just quickly, I want to take us up to an hour. So we've still got about 12 minutes left. Let me just see if I can just do the trailer without playing the music. Okay, let's have a look. Is that it there? Okay. We've got a few minutes left. See what else we can find. GI Blues. Let's have a look. So let's go back to the making of GI Blues. See if anything else comes up. So I hope you've enjoyed the brand new Defending Elvis. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of this, guys. Okay, what is this here? Right. Rare on-stage footage. Oh, this is what we've just watched, but that's in black and white. Yeah, there's a lot of people promoting the box set. All right, so this is a longer version. Hang on. Okay, let's play this for a bit, and then this is going to have to be the last bit. We may come back and do a part 2, but I'm happy with yeah. So we can talk through this. I haven't watched this. I'm surprised I haven't watched it. Come on, we want to see Elvis. Where's Elvis? Ah, here we go. You're going to see Elvis now. So obviously they colorized the other one, but so loads of different topics, guys. Are there any movies you'd like me to review? Yeah, I'd like to go through all of them. Yeah, just trying to understand them. You know, let's just see how much it made. Right. How much did G.I. Blues make? Da da da. Will it tell me? So it says here the most commonly cited figure is that it earned 4.3 million in US and Canadian theatrical rentals. So it was a massive success. The film reached number 2 on the Variety's national box office chart. Surely it was number 1. It was successful enough that comedy formula, the Elvis musical comedy formula, was repeated again and again. And it says it led to Blue Hawaii. I actually prefer G.I. Blues. What do you prefer? G.I. Blues or Blue Hawaii? The soundtrack album was a massive success, was number 1, as it said just now. So for modern comparisons, so a rental is a big part of it. Box office ticket sales. The studio just received a percentage of the cinema receipt. Not crystal clear, is it? Okay, guys, we've only got a couple of minutes left. So, you know, this is the beginning of moving away from Elvis, the rock and roll guy, yeah? And because Jailhouse Rock, King Creole still had that rock and roll bad boy flavour, didn't it? That sort of, you know, juvenile delinquent, sort of James Dean, Marlon Brando feel to it. Where obviously G.I. Blues is completely different. It's just completely family friendly. It's just a funny, patriotic, romantic, likable comedy. You know, that's basically what it is. But I love it. It says here Elvis was paid approximately $200,000 plus a percentage of the profits. We've heard about this. He was one of the first people to ever get a percentage. It says the production cost was 1.3 million. Is that correct? 1.3 million. The budget, yeah, which is a lot. I've heard that the Blue Hawaii was even more than that. So the songs Wooden Heart, Pocket Full of Rainbows, Doing the Best That I Can, Frankfurt Special, Blue Suede Shoes, all feature in the film. Wooden Heart, of course. Wooden Heart was a massive hit. It was initially released as a major US single. Come on, we get to see Elvis as a soldier, Elvis singing, Elvis falling in love, Elvis traveling in Germany, America. It's fantastic, isn't it? And I think the fact that it ties into him coming out of the army was a big thing as well. So Juliet Prowse had amazing chemistry with Elvis. She was a trained dancer. She's very sophisticated, very confident, very glamorous, nearly 6 foot tall. So they tried to minimize the height because Elvis is 6'1", isn't he? She's 6 foot. They tried to make her look a bit shorter. There are rumors that Elvis was quite taken by her. Okay, guys, that's it. Let me just read the rest of this. Yeah, so just said they had really good chemistry, no romance. Is that true? And I don't think Elvis would get in there with Frank's fiance. I just don't think he would, but I could be. Am I wrong? I probably am wrong, but you know. So it says here, GR Blues became a hit. Parker saw the formula, yeah, in exotic settings, the romance, the songs, the comedy, the family friendly, yeah, of course. So it then goes on to do things like Blue Hawaii, Girls, 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 Fun in Acapulco, Viva Las Vegas. We've got to do that one. Come on, Anne Margaret. I actually want to do a whole Anne Margaret special as well. Many historians argue it moved Elvis away from the tougher dramatic roles that he had shown that he could handle, like King Creole. Fully agree. Wouldn't it have been nice if he did a mixture? So some of these type movies, yeah, the sort of family friendly ones, but then some dramatic roles as well. You know, we've all heard about A Star Is Born being offered and other films. There are many very good, very serious films that went on to win Oscars that Elvis was offered the lead role, but just didn't happen, did it, guys? So I personally think Elvis really loved filming this film. It was a real happy time for him. Obviously, very financially very successful. Even doing the Frank Sinatra show, just a real good time in Elvis's life. He's back to Hollywood again. He's back at the top again, isn't he? Back, Elvis is back. Yeah, and the whole world are in love with Elvis. Everyone says who worked with Elvis said he was relaxed, polite, loving it, enjoying himself. And Elvis had done, within 9 months of leaving military service, he was, wow. He'd had massive hits. The movies, the soundtracks, the Frank Sinatra show, the fans accepted Elvis back. Of course they did. They never forgot him, did they? And his return to America, of course, leaving Germany. It's a big, big part of Elvis's life. I think an amazing chapter in Elvis's life. And he was back to being the biggest entertainment star in the world. And Elvis, I've heard Elvis really enjoyed the early 60s, making the movies, and that yes, eventually the scripts become very bland, and Elvis is disheartened and disappointed, and feels that he's let himself down. Actually, he even says at one point, eventually the scripts were so repetitive and so similar that Elvis felt physically sick. Yeah, there's an interview of him clearly saying it. But I also think Elvis had a lot of happy times making some of these movies, and I've seen interviews with the Memphis Mafia saying that actually the guys, had the time of their lives making these movies. There was a lot of fun whilst they were filming, whilst they were waiting between filming, yeah, on set. So we know that some of the guys played small bit parts in these movies. I think Billy Smith accompanied Elvis to a few of the movies as well. So it was a happy time at first. But as we get to the mid-60s, Elvis is frustrated, feels almost imprisoned, almost caged, feels constrained by this massive commitment by Colonel Tom Parker to fulfill the contracts, to film all these movies. I know Elvis was the highest paid movie star at this point in history, even getting a percentage of the turnover. But Elvis wanted to spread his wings, and he couldn't do it until the 68 comeback special. Yeah. Which actually wasn't called the 68 comeback special. It is now. It's a bit like the Jungle Room. The Jungle Room was never called the Jungle Room, but it is now. And then we see this amazing 68 comeback special, which shows that Elvis still got it, still got that raw edge, that rock and roll edge that he had in the 50s. Yeah. And so then we get the 69 comeback Vegas special, which I think has been underestimated. But then suddenly we have epic, massive hit around the world, shows the 69 comeback, Vegas comeback, the early Vegas years. Elvis, again, at the top of his game. Elvis had a few comebacks. Yeah. Elvis always kept proving to the world that he still had it. He still had that raw edge, that magic. But remember, Elvis really enjoyed the early years of Vegas. Yeah, I don't think Elvis gets properly fed up and starts to get a bit bored of Vegas until the mid 70s. 74-ish, you start to see he gets bored again. And then we have the health problems start to kick in, over prescription, stuff like that. And problems, come on, life. But don't forget, by the time Elvis starts to look slightly unwell, you can tell things are changing. He's basically near enough 40 years old. So to the people that think Elvis just spent his life, the way he was in the last 3 years of his life, he didn't. Elvis, right up until 40, more or less, looked extremely well, extremely healthy. Looked like he was loving life. Yeah. Of course, like all of us, we're all human. He had loads of problems. We all do. We all do. We're all human. Yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I found this really interesting. I'm going to definitely be going through a lot of movies. I'd like to read chapter 2 of this book as well. I may do that next. I'm not sure. Let's just see what happens. Okay. I've got this flu, which is doing my head in. But this actually has distracted me from my flu symptoms. So just to focus on something different. And I just want to remind everyone, guys, this is Defending Elvis, a brand new beginning. We have changed. We have evolved. We have to evolve. We have to. We don't. I don't even think we have a choice. I think for us to go forward, we must rebrand ourselves slightly. But we are still defending Elvis. Okay, that will never stop. But we will jump around. We'll do some defending. Then we'll do some like this. Yeah, a bit like Elvis. Had his rock and roll stuff, but then eventually image changes a bit and he starts doing his family friendly movies, which I loved, by the way. Get it? We're going to jump between the two. Team Elvis, you rock.